pessimist complains about the wind. The optimist expects it to change. But the leader adjusts the sails. These are the words of noted American author John Maxwell. Indeed, a leader is someone who shows people their potential even when they cannot see it. And today we have with us one such leader who leads brilliantly. The words used to describe him by his colleagues are he is passionate, brings in a lot of positivity, energy, and commitment. I'm talking about Mr. Vikram Verma, Senior Vice President Technology at Cred Avenue. And today, in yet another episode of the Economic Times Cutting Chai Stories, a chit chat series brought to you by ETH, I, Deepthi Diwan, your host, shall engage in a candid conversation with him as he takes us through his personal and professional journey. What are the things that inspire and drive him? What are his hobbies and interests? And how does he keep up that passion and positivity? So, welcome, Vikram, and thank you for coming on board.
Hey, thanks a lot, Deepthi. Thanks a lot for the kind words and very nice introduction. The pleasure is definitely mine. Happy to share whatever my journey and thoughts with you.
Well, absolutely. So let's bring it on. Vikram, nearly 2 decades of experience in the technology space and having been in leadership roles at Yahoo, at Oracle, Goodera, please tell us, were you always driven towards technology or did you have something else in mind as your career path?
I think when I was growing up, I was I think those days there were luckily not too many distractions. And growing up in middle class families, parents always advise you to kind of focus on studies. Luckily was good at studies, was decent at studies. And when I grew up, I chose science like most of people who aspire to do well. And then went ahead and was lucky to get into IIT. Once I got into IIT, I think I chose computer science. So I think from that there onwards, the path was very clear that it will be in the technology world. So I think I haven't, even though I have done a bunch of management courses and so on, they were always to aid my career in technology rather than taking me away from that. So I think that way, I think I was always very focused on being in the technology tech sector.
Wow, amazing. So let's rewind a little bit. Let's talk about your foundation years. Where did you grow up? What was your school like? What were your college days like? And any early lessons that you have learned, when you're growing up years that have stayed with you and that have helped you become the person that you have become today?
I think definitely there are a lot of things that I've learned, and I think just like for everyone, I think their earlier experiences mold you as a person. I grew up in a small town in Haryana called Faridabad. Studied in a government school, part of the Kendriya Vidyalaya group. Have a lot of good friends from those days as well. Some of very close friends and the relationships there. And also because of courtesy, things like WhatsApp. Nowadays, it's great to be in touch with and been able to maintain touch with a bunch of them. Um my father was in a government job, and my mother was a homemaker. So also grew up as a single child. So kind of, I would say, learned independence and self-reliance a bit early on, because there was not too much to depend upon outside in the outside world. So that, I think that was good. Uh, in terms of learnings, I think, yeah, I think school was good. I would say there were a lot of good teachers, and I think the teaching standards were very high. So I think that was very good. Also learned a lot from terms of influence. I would say learned a lot from my father. I think he was a very good influence. He was a very hardworking person who valued and I would say personified honesty and integrity a lot. So I think learned those values. He was also very disciplined in his life. So I think that is also another thing that I think I have learned, being disciplined and organized. He would always keep files of things. So I think I learned a lot of things. Was an early riser, early to bed. So I think bunch of those things that have I've learned from him, and I think that have kept me in good stead. And I think the other lesson I would say from my parents, my father in particular, that I learned very well is that not to do anything in excess. So I think and kind of keep a value of time, value your own time, and be judicious about how to spend it. So I think those are some of the things that I think I learned early in the days. Having said that, it was a lot of fun as well. So I used to play a lot of things. I used to play cricket. I used to play football. I used to do kite flying. So it was not like all serious
Wow.
stuff. So I think I had a pretty good normal childhood, which was a lot of fun in those days.
Wow. So you played a lot of sport and you were also into studies. So you had a great balance back in the day also, if I'm not wrong.
I would say so. Having said that, it was not like I was very good at some of the things, but I used to play quite a bit. I think cricket definitely wasn't very good at football, but yeah, kite flying I was good at. Yeah, so I think those were fun things.
Okay. Well, great. And talking about your college days, you were at IIT Delhi, a very reputed institute to be a part of. So tell us about your experiences at this, very prestigious institute and how it impacted your life. Also, any fun incidents, any fun moments at, while at IIT Delhi.
I think IIT Delhi was definitely, first of all, it was a blessing to be there. It was a great privilege to be there. It was definitely a very lot of hard work to be there. Once to be there, and even after reaching there, I think there's a lot of hard work that goes in. But it was also a lot of fun, right? I mean, I think you realize that you are in company of some of the nation's extremely smart peers and people there. And frankly, it is great to see our whole batch doing very well. People are very accomplished in their own areas. So I think it's very good to see that. In terms of memories, I think IITs, there are a lot of fun memories. So I grew up in a hostel called Jwalamukhi. IITs have a lot of hostel culture. So Jwala is short for Jwalamukhi. I think it's a famous hostel nowadays due to some of the more accomplished alumni as well. But there are a lot of fun there. I think what we really learn at the hostel is like you develop some of those friendships, which is true for any hostel life. But I think a lot of those friendships are there for the life. I think I've been also very lucky that a lot of our people who grew up in the same wing in the same hostel, we are in Bangalore. So we regularly keep in touch, catch up once in a while over festivals or some other get-together. So that is great. So yeah, that is on the fun side, I would say. A lot of fun activities. So I think it's tough to recall one thing, but yeah, I mean, I think a lot of fun in various ways, right? Um, IITs, I think in general, otherwise is a tough grind, I would say. But it also prepares you for very well for the real world. I think it gives one immense confidence, right, to basically go ahead and be confident about whatever you want to do to stretch your limits and push your limits. It also, I mean, I think it gave me, and I think it gives a lot of people a very tough attitude and say, okay, we will, in Hindi we say, kar lenge, dekh lenge types.
Mhm.
So it gives you a lot of, I mean, I think good confidence, which is great. Also, I think privileged to study under some of the brightest minds there. Our professors are very, I would say, dedicated and impart great knowledge, experts in their fields. Very grateful to have studied under some of the HODs of our and deans of our college. Professor Balakrishna, Professor S. N. Maheshwari, Professor Anshul Kumar, Sanju Kapoor, and many others, right? So I think in CS department, great professors. So I think a lot of good learnings from those days.
Wow. Well, that's great. And no wonder your colleagues call you positive because that's where you picked up your positive attitude, I believe, in your early growing up years and also at IIT. Like you said, the whole curling attitude, that is indeed a great learning. So thank you so much for sharing that. Well, that was a great, rewind back into your college and school days. Let's dive into your professional life now. What are the things that you have learned in your overall journey of your professional life? Do you have any great learnings that you've had or any mentors that you've had throughout your professional journey? So please tell us about that.
Yeah, I think definitely learned a lot from a lot of people. I think school and college teaches you only so much. I think in the real world you'll learn a lot. So very grateful to have been right from early in the career. I worked in a few startups. The word startup was not really well known at that time, from 99 to 2002 and so on. I remember there were people who gave me a lot of showed tremendous faith in me, gave me complex problems to work upon early in the days. So learned a lot from. I was directly used to work with a person called Radhakrishnan Shrikant. He was a CTO of one of the startups called InfoStrand that I worked in, and there was an architect, Mr. Ravi Baranwal. I think so. So learned a lot from them earlier the days. Later on, I went on to Oracle. I think there were a lot of people and a lot of smart people. I was a lot of alumni from IIT Kharagpur was there. They were part of my interview panel. I remain in touch with most of them. And then a lot of learnings, particularly because in Oracle, that's where I moved from being an individual contributor to first time in a project lead role and later on a managerial role. So learned a lot of first steps of learning and particularly for engineering leadership there. Oracle also, I would credit them for having a very good L&D program. So I think there were a lot of soft skill trainings that were available at that time. You could just register and your manager has to approve and then you could attend them. So I took benefit of a lot of learning from them as well. Later on, I think again, still formative years, but when I moved on to Yahoo, I think Yahoo was a collection of extremely smart people and very, very passionate about what we were doing. The scale of the problems, the complexity, the data, everything was very high. I would call out two people definitely who were both mentors and I've learned a lot from. One is Jendran Venugopal, who currently heads as a CTO and product head of Flipkart. He was my manager and boss at Yahoo for nearly 4 years. And also one of our architects, Venkatavardhan Raghunathan, he was an architect for during my stint. So I think I learned a lot from them. Venkat is today at Google. So I think extremely smart people who helped me at early formative year for some of my leadership experience as well. Later in the years, I think I also learned a lot from when I was at Goodera. It was funded by Nexus. Nareen Gupta sir was one of our on our board. It's really he was a great influence. He learned a lot from him. Even when I moved on from Goodera, he always made up time and was always available. He was also an early riser. Also went to IIT Delhi. Also grew up in a small town in Haryana. So I think we had a very good connect. Extremely smart, humble, disciplined. So learned a lot from them. Very sharp, very deep focus. Just to call out that I think only a few days ago there was a sad news of his untimely demise. So rest in peace, Naren sir.
Well, sorry there for your loss, sir. Uh, can't be explained, loss of a, mentor or friend has a very big impact. So please accept our condolences for that. So many people have influenced you in your life, and you had some great learnings. But what is also interesting is that, sir, when I was reading about you, there came up a lot of colleagues of yours who had this to say, that you've always encouraged them, you've shown great amount of faith in them, and that just goes on to show that we treat others the way we are treated ourselves. A little philosophical there, but you mentioned that some of your mentors at very early on in your career had great faith in you and they gave you challenges, but they also, had a lot of faith in you, and which you did in turn also. So that just goes on to show how there's a chain of attitude there. So thank you so much for sharing that. And once again, sir, in your career journey, you may have had some highs, some lows. How do you handle those times when there is success achieved? What is your attitude? And also share with us, what do you do when you're not very upbeat, or when there is a setback or a failure?
I think excellent question. And I think this is where I'll answer first of all what I do with it, because that's where I think my father has always helped me. And I think the learnings from him was always that never get to either too excited when things are going well or too optimistic, and neither get too pessimistic when things are not going well. Because this is also, I would say again, since you said philosophically, it's absolutely correct that I think both good times and bad times, they don't last. So I think having that perspective, having that context is very important. And I think that's what I think I feel balance in life in general is very important. So that realization I think helps me a lot. In terms of specifics, I think there have been lows, but I think even lows have very good learning. So one of the first lows was, I think, I'm getting laid off and seeing your startups this is between that 99 to 2002 phase, shut down and getting out of job. I think In hindsight, of course, it did not feel great at that time, but in hindsight, I think they were great learnings, because very early in the cycle, you saw that, okay, no matter where you coming from, you might be IIT Delhi Computer Science or whatever, but you will get laid off if things are not going well. Understanding of economics, microeconomics, and I mean the macroeconomics, I would say, and the cycles of business cycles. So I think they all impact everyone, right? So I think that, in fact, like I think 2007-8, the Lehman crisis again unfolded, right? And I think that is another thing, right? It was not really early in the career, but those were the lows. And I think they also taught me and a lot of us at that time that, okay, how to handle those things. So I think those were some of the lows. Highs, I think there have been a lot of highs. I think I have been, frankly, very lucky and extremely grateful to whatever life has given me in terms of support from friends, family, friends from IIT, colleagues. I've been able to forge some very good relationships at work and so on. And I think those are the things that give me a high. So I think it's a lot of highs, very few lows. I think one more thing that I can think of, which is a combination of high and low, is my own entrepreneurship journey. When I started Funds Tiger back in 2015, 16, I think that was a high as well, but it did not pan out as well as I expected. And so that way it was a low. But having said that, that was also a great learning experience. I think, frankly, it was in a very similar space to what I'm doing at Credit Avenue, although at a much larger scale and much well executed. So I think that is also another thing. And so yeah, I think my philosophy would be that highs or lows, they will all keep coming. I think one needs to stay focused and give your best in whatever the situation is. And I think that helps me personally, professionally, in all ways, right? So that's definitely a thought process rather than just a mantra or something, but that works for me.
Absolutely. Well, great. Thank you so much for sharing that. And sir, could you please tell us what, according to you, are the traits of a good leader? So you yourself are one, and for you, what has worked for you, and what do you think should be the traits of a good leader?
Yeah, I mean, I think I would not like to be too prescriptive. I think people have different ways and different leadership styles, and also I think I'm also still learning. I think so. So I think there is always a constant learning. You are never there. Having said that, there are few things that I think are very important if you are in leadership role. The first would be, I think, just having the humility, right? Humility to know that, okay, you don't know something, humility to admit mistakes and learn from the same, right? I think that is extremely important for a leader, right? You are not there just to always be right, right? I mean, you try to be, but it's totally okay to say, okay, I'm not best at it, right? Then I would say also say things that work for me very well, and I think for a lot of leaders is being open and transparent, right? So I think that is very important. Also be always be curious and eager to learn, right? Because otherwise you won't learn and evolve, right? So as a person, as a leader, both ways, right? I think it's also important for leaders, and this is maybe my bias, but I think having the right energy and enthusiasm is very important, right? Because your team picks it up from you, right? So I am usually very high enthu and very high energy and bring it every day, right? So I think that helps me and my team, in my opinion. At least I would like to think so. Um, then I would say you need to be also be very ready to work hard and persevere, right? I mean, I think all leaders do that. Everybody tries to do that, but perseverance is very important. Not giving up, I think that is very critical. And your ability to get things done, focus on when things are not getting in your, I mean, not going in the way that you want them to be, but still persevering and trying to focus on what can be done rather than being worried about what is not working out and so on. So that is important. And finally, I think having a long term view, think long term, not only in the short term cycles, because I think that doesn't help much. And think big, right? I think like think long term, think big, and then I think that should help most of the leaders and most people to go and go beyond and push to the limits and achieve the excellence and the success that they are looking for.
Hmm, absolutely. Well, since you spoke about being curious and constantly learning and improving yourself, so how have you invested in yourself to keep improving your skills? I'm sure that you have days that you feel like, there's still so much to learn and so much to do. So, at your work or even otherwise personally, how do you make sure that you keep, improving upon your skills?
I think in tech sector, first of all, you have to always keep learning a lot of new things within the work because there are new technologies that keep coming up, new paradigms, new architectures. Today we have microservices. Like 10 years ago, there was nothing like that. Cloud services were not there. So I think that way you have to always be on like lookout. You always be learning. I think investing in myself. I think I think I did that course at IMB, which was sponsored by Yahoo, so executive course. So that was there. I also did another certification course at Informatica to learn management and leadership skills and so on. So that is there. So those are the other things that I think which pretty much everybody does. There are other things that I do, which is like, I mean, in general, as I said, I'm very curious. I read a lot. I read a lot in terms of various variety, right? So it's not only my work related stuff, but whether it's literature, like one of my favorite authors is Joe Paleri, then John Steinbeck, who's a Nobel laureate, Chekhov, Amitabh Ghosh, so both Indian authors, fiction. So a lot of things. Like to read science books, history, psychology, and frankly, in this COVID times, I got a habit of like taking a bit more of walks, and that's where Audible helped me a lot. So I've been listening to a lot to an Audible. I've like finished a lot of books actually. So that has been good. Podcasts, I think that is another way to, I think, learn, and just keep reading a lot of blogs, both tech blogs and otherwise. I think so that definitely helps me. The other is, I would say, I mean, I think you have a good friends and mentors when you have some ideas and you want to think about it. So I think having a good circle where you can bounce off your ideas, that definitely helps. I also keep asking my son or some of the young people, because I think they are always ahead of the curve. What are they up to? They are the adopters, early adopters of various things. I think so. Keep asking them, being curious, then trying to ask that, okay, what are they doing? What games are they playing? What is more interesting about that? Or what new apps are they using? So I think that way there is a lot of good learning, good feedback. So I think that also helps. Yeah, so I think so. Those are the few things that I do. I would say.
Well, great. And do you have any role models? You do your learning from books, but otherwise, any leaders that you particularly look up to, any role models that you look up to?
I think there are quite a few. I think people, I'm not sure whether they're role models, but I've learned a lot from a lot of people. So, for example, one of my favorites is Roger Federer in tennis world. So I think, like, of course, he's beyond excellence, I would say, but like humility and his search for excellence, and even at an age where a lot of people are retired, he's playing, winning, the drive, the passion. I think that's just amazing. So I think I try to do that. From Jendran, who I referred earlier, who's my manager at Yahoo. I think he's definitely been a role model and a mentor. I think again, humility, very deep focus, ability to dive deep into new topics, figure them out. I think extremely I think focused person. So I think there's a lot of learning that I had from him. Um, uh, Learned from folks like Venkat with like how not to get stressed and see broader perspective. So I think initially in my early days, it's not like I was always like this, but then yeah, those are some of the learnings that I've gone. In terms of tech leaders, if there is one person that I have to choose, then I think definitely Jeff Bezos has been the most inspirational in my opinion. Also, not only the success story, but in the way Amazon operates, some of the leadership principles that they have, like things like customer obsession, agree, disagree, and commit, ownership and accountability, thinking big, have a spine, stand up for what you believe in. So I think some of those things are I find amazing, and I think a lot to learn from. So I think, yeah, within people who I don't know, I would say definitely. I mean, they don't know me, so I think from that bucket, definitely Jeff Bezos would be one of them.
Wow, great. Some great role models there. And sir, how do you maintain the work-life balance? And you spoke about a few hobbies. You spoke about reading, listening to audiobooks, sports. What are the other things that you like doing? And how do you maintain the work-life balance?
Yeah, so yeah, I mean, I think that is definitely, I think, very important in today's time and age. That yeah, I mean, I think reading helps. I walk and I listen to audiobooks by usually taking walks. So I think that helps. I play a bit of badminton on the weekends with a small group of friends. On Saturdays and Sundays we play that. So I think so that is fun. Also try to get a hand of TT playing with my son, as well as at office at times whenever time permits. Like to travel whenever possible. Of course, last 1.5 2 years haven't been very good because of COVID, but I think look forward to things opening up and things getting better, and then get back to travel. So like to go to both beaches, mountains, even historical places. I think Mahabalipuram, Hampi have been some of my favorite places. So I think go out there, relax, have some downtime, accompanied by some book or good food and friends. So I think that is always good way to relax. Those are some of the things that I do.
Well, great. And we'll move on to our last segment, which is the rapid fire round, just a little bit of fun activity, and we'll try to make this quick. So, just to get to know you a little better, uh, a quick rapid fire question where we'll ask you some questions and you can give us small answers or you can choose one of the options. So, are you ready for it?
Sure. Yep.
All right. So, here it goes. Planning your life or going with the flow?
Going with the flow.
Okay. Work from home or work from office?
Work from office.
Okay. This one may be tricky for you. Cricket or football?
Cricket.
Okay. Badminton or TT?
Badminton.
Historical museum or science museum?
Science museum.
Okay. Oh, all right. Paperback books, Kindle or audiobooks?
Both paperback and audiobooks.
Okay. Bangalore or Bengaluru?
Bangalore.
Okay. Fill in the blank. Life is incomplete without.
Friends and family.
Okay, lovely. Cutting chai or coffee?
Chai.
Chai. All right. And any one quote or any line or any song that you think resonates with you or has a deep connection with you?
Song, I'm not sure. I mean, I think there are too many songs that I like. I think line, I would say, and I would say maybe, I think one of the things that I would say is I don't have regrets. So one small line would be no regrets, right? So it's almost like a t-shirt slogan, but don't have regrets. So I don't have any regrets. So that's how I would say, no regrets.
Wow. Amazing, amazing. That was great indeed. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. And we have learned so much in this interview, Vikram. This was really, really nice. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Vikram Verma, technology leader at Cred Avenue, sharing his life story with us. And what a great story indeed. So I had a great time speaking to you. And of course, I learned so much. Vikram, we hope that you enjoyed this interview.
Thanks a lot, Deepti. The pleasure is all mine. Thanks a lot for giving me this platform to share my thoughts, and really an honor and privilege to be here.
Well, absolutely our pleasure. And now I'm delighted to welcome Mr. Aditya Agarwal, Head of Enterprise Segment, Lenovo India, to join this conversation for an expert opinion on one particular question. So, Aditya, very, very warm welcome.
Hi, Vikram.
Hi, Aditya.
So I'm going to throw this question to the both of you. Let me start by asking Aditya first. So, sir, 2021 has been a challenging year for us. Keeping that in mind and looking at the current COVID scenario, how do we get prepared for the next year, for 2022? Is there any innovation that we see and how do we get better prepared?
It's quite a broad question. I think let's hope that 2022 is better than 2021, right? Because we thought that 2020 was bad and then we had the whole wave. So, right, one, of course, I'll talk about health, but, coming back to more about innovations and technology that you may be speaking about, I think as workers and as well as companies, what we need to do is be better prepared for this whole hybrid work scenario, right? Because now people have, there used to be times where people would frown upon work from home, right? But now people know that, work from home works in most of the situations. Of course, it doesn't in everything, but how do we make work from everywhere or anywhere work, right? Because now people want to work from office, work from homes, work from coffee shops, or work from a garden, right? So that how do we make that happen? And the innovations that will be needed in this whole process is security. For example, how do we make people safe? The whole bandwidth issues, devices that can work with people. But I think it's the main challenge is how do we get back to a productive scenario where people just want to work from anywhere possible. That's what I think is the main challenge. Of course, health continues to be, but it's heartwarming to see more and more innovations on the pharma part. But this, I think, is going to be a critical, cultural shift that we're going to see.
Well, indeed, thank you so much for that. And now I'll ask the same to Vikram. Vikram, how do you think we can be better prepared for 2022? What are going to be your methods of tackling, the challenges that are faced by the industry?
In particularly in context of COVID, I would definitely echo the thoughts that Aditya shared earlier. I think all of those things are extremely important. Hybrid is here to stay. I think so. Definitely that is important. I think more innovations may be required to make people more productive, and also how to keep the data secure and how to take care of various the health security aspects. I think there's a lot of, while I think yes, there is a lot of new vaccines coming up, new medicines coming up, but I think there's a lot of emphasis that needs to be continued and put in place in offices when people come together in terms of social distancing and other protocols that need to be followed up, because I think that's where I think laxity can be very harmful. So I think that part definitely has to be definitely there. So that is more on, I think, human and human behavioral side rather than the tech side. In terms of tech, I think, yeah, I think definitely, while there are many challenges, but maybe I think I'll look beyond just the COVID impact. But I think one of the things that are, which I think I worry about a lot, and I think that has to be handled very well, particularly because now I'm in a fintech space, and I think that in general it's important for tech industry as well, is the whole data privacy issue, right? So because the ability to keep customers' data safe and make it accessible in the right formats, right ways, to the right person at the right time, all of that is extremely important. So while people are trusting us with our apps and our interfaces and so on, I think it's very important for the tech industry to do that very well, beyond the laws, right? So in terms of its proper ethics and so on, I think that is where it's important. Also, related thing is the whole cyber security in general, not only data security. I think so. Those are some of the things that I think where I think some of the innovations, whether it related to devices and some of the other ways, I think that they are going to be definitely important, right? So those are the areas that I would say which are very important, particularly for hybrid, right? And if you relate to it, right, when people are working home and they're working from their own personal laptops and so on, and they're bringing their own devices, I think data security and particularly sensitive data for customers and so on, I think that becomes even more important, right?
Right, absolutely. Well, thank you for sharing that. And we did a little research, and we also figured, Vikram, that a way of personal management during these times of crisis, you started a bit of Tai Chi during these times. So could you in just brief tell us about what that experience was and how has it helped you, personally and also at work?
I think, yeah, it's a good thing that you mentioned that. I think I should have talked about it. Yeah. So Tai Chi is something that I picked up, I would say, very luckily. There's a person, Mr. Michael, who stays in our building, and he was teaching some other folks. My wife started learning, and then she told me that that you can also join. And I just happened to try because I was going to gym at that time. Although gyms had also closed down due to COVID. So then I said, okay, what to do? So I was regular exercising, walking. So I just happenstance that I happened to start picking it up. But Tai Chi is a Chinese martial art, which has a very very slow movements, very considerate movements. Also ties up with breathing and so on. And it has various stages. I'm just in the beginner stage, but I think there are a lot of breathing exercises, and I would say sitting meditation, and ultimately what you reach to is what is called moving meditation, right? So I think it's definitely very, very relaxing. I think I do it pretty much every day now, and even when I'm traveling, or on vacation, I always try to get it up. It's definitely very helpful, very relaxing, and I would recommend it to anyone if you can get a good instructor. And definitely you should give it a shot, right? So it's I think I've been doing yoga earlier, but I think Tai Chi is definitely it's like, I think it's definitely something which I would recommend. Very helpful.
Wow. Well, thank you so much for sharing that, and I'm sure it is great to everybody who's stressed with work out there, or a leader who's got a lot of pressure. So once again, thank you so much for sharing so much information with us, Vikram, and we had a great time indeed. This was the Economic Times Cutting Chai Stories. Thank you so much for that.